My name is Miki, and I'm an instructor here at Krav Maga.
I moved around quite a bit. So I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, but for a little while I was in Lexington, Kentucky, and then I moved to Davis, and then I've been here in San Francisco for about 11 years now. When I was really young, I did a little bit of Taekwondo and Tai Chi, but really never stuck with that, and Krav Maga was really the thing that, like, now I love it, and now I'm really sticking with it. I think, well, for me with Taekwondo, it felt like we were learning some cool tricks. We could break boards and stuff, but it never felt like I was really learning that thing that would help me in my life in different situations. So one of the reasons why I love Krav Maga is that it's so practical. I remember the first time I was here, I was already doing something that I felt I can take this back, and I have a skill now. So before I started Krav Maga, I had no idea what Krav Maga was. I'd never heard about it. I was actually invited by one of the people at a senior home I was working at. She was in her 70s, and she wanted me to come join her on this martial arts thing that she's been doing. And I totally thought it would be, very slow Tai Chi in the park. And my first class here kicked my ass, and I loved it. I remember, like, halfway through the class, I was punching the bags and I was absolutely gassed, and I said, I gotta come back. This is great. Now I've been doing Krav Maga for 4 years now. I come to class because every time I come here, I feel like I'm really learning and gaining stuff. I love the exercise. I love the workout. It's really one of the first things that really got me exercising. So I come to Krav for that, and I stay for the community. I really do love the people here. Everybody's so supportive. I've found a lot of people that I can hang out with even outside of Krav Maga. What I use the most, I love kicks. I love anything that I can kind of keep my range out a little bit. I'm one of the taller people here, and so using that to my advantage is much better than trying to go in and grapple and get myself into some sticky situation I can't get out of. So I love kicks. I love low kicks to the legs. People are always looking at the hands. And so kick them in the legs, suddenly they're not thinking about anything. I definitely want to keep Krav Maga or whatever martial arts in my life, but I couldn't really see myself training at another gym. For the same reason, the community. I feel like I've become so connected here, and at first I really wasn't very connected. I was one of the people that came once a week and thought, Krav Maga is a small part of my life, something that I kind of do on the side. And slowly it's pulled me in, like, more and more, to the point where it's like, yeah, I feel like this is, kind of like a second home. I've been teaching Krav for 2.5 years now, crazily enough. I chose to become an instructor because I love the instructors that I had. And I also, as I was in Krav Maga for about a year, there were people that were brand new, and I really loved, trying to help them out, teach them kind of the things that I really struggled with. And I was someone with no martial arts background and not a lot of fitness before coming in. I feel like I could kind of see how I could help people, and I don't know, it felt great. It felt really great. Now I've got a lot of folks that started first class with me, and I've seen them take the first test, and now I really do feel like an instructor. When they have questions about stuff, they'll come to me, and sometimes it feels great. Yes, I can help you, and sometimes it feels crazy because I'm still learning so much myself. I know a little bit more than you, but God, there's an ocean of stuff I don't know yet. I think the hardest part of teaching is meeting people where they're at. A lot of folks come in, with a little bit of experience, and then a lot of people come in with no experience and no real understanding of what their bodies can do. And so it's kind of working with that, trying to meet everyone where they're at the same time in a class, but also making sure that I'm not leaving some people out for the benefit of others. So that's always kind of a balancing act. I would say my teaching style is I want at some point in the class that you're going to laugh. At some point in the class that you're going to feel gassed and you're going to feel like I don't want to, not that you don't want to keep going, but that, I want this exercise to stop. And I think there's so much mental strength that comes from just pushing through, even 5 seconds longer in the exercise. I kind of think that one of the best things that comes out of Krav Maga is, one, the self-defense, and two, it's the mental strength, the emotional strength to just keep pushing through stuff. And so I say that I like to kind of teach the mind through the body. I love Circle of Death. Circle of Death is, I think, one of the best will drills because it's so involved. You're not the one setting the pace for it. It's everybody else around you. And really, it's can you survive? And I know a lot of will drills, you get to look at the clock a little bit and see, okay, I got 30 seconds, I can make it 30 seconds. Circle of Death, you're fully focused, and when the timer actually does end, you didn't even realize you did it for a whole minute. One of the hardest things for me was really initially when I started, and I didn't feel comfortable with, being in Krav Maga, and I didn't, I felt like everybody else was better than me. I had a lot of ego stuff going on, and I think part of it was, accepting that, yeah, I'm a student, I'm gonna be behind a lot of people, and then also that even if I am kind of behind people, that it's still something that I want to take seriously. Personally, I'm gonna keep showing up to stuff, I'm gonna show up to class when I kind of don't want to. And yeah, sometimes I would be kind of scared of coming to class when I was feeling really tired because I know there's a chance that I will be destroyed by this class. And at some point it got easier, and at some point I didn't care anymore. I just said, Danny would say it, F it. I show up and I never regret showing up. My advice for new students would be, don't get discouraged by where you're at. Everybody's been there, and everybody's got to be there to get better, to get to the next checkpoint. And especially for new folks who are not sure how much they want to commit to Krav Maga, how much they want to commit to self-defense, this, kind of intense training. I would say that it's totally worth it, but it takes time. It takes it takes time on the mat, and then it also just takes time outside of the mat where you're just relaxing, kind of soaking it in, and not getting hard on yourself for not knowing this technique, not being good at this. It'll come. Yeah. Yeah.